Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Welcome to Mirror Domains. This is your place for entertainment headlines. Yes, Mirror Domains Movie News, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day. Yes, this is a live news show. Live show there, YouTube. Promote live shows. Come on. Aladdin 2, Cliffhanger 2, Extraction 3, Super Mario Bros. 2. Lots of sequels, and some people are publishing their worst movies of the year list. So soon? Really? Of course, it's Monday, so we'll talk about the weekend's box office report. But we start off today's show by talking about, well, once again, James Gunn talking about Superman Legacy. James Gunn shares update on Superman Legacy storyboard, superhero costume, and score. Oh, so are we going to get the classic John Williams Superman theme in this one? I hope so. I don't know. Or are they going to reinvent it all over again? So, the co-head continues to tease fans on the film, and that sees Corin Sweat take over as Man of Steel. So he went to his social media to share a storyboard shot, which is just basically, what was it, like a stickman figure, I think I saw. Spoiler, well, probably not. He wrote in the caption, "I'm constantly drawing Superman Legacy shots and storyboards all over everything. Here's one I just sent to my department heads to understand how tight a shot was going to be after discussing it." Oh yeah, so there it is, guys. As I said, it's very Lego-ish. It's very amateur, I think is the proper word. James Gunn, amateur. At least when it comes to scribbling thoughts down on storyboards. But hey guys, it is what it is. It's nothing elaborate out there. Oh, we're going to be in tight on his shot and then pan away. Okay, fine. I don't know why you need to storyboard that, but I guess it is what it is. The camera will be moving back with the character. For me, the full arrows are camera movement. The thin arrows are subject movement. Okay, so he'll be tracking. Okay, fine. Ooh, spoiler. It's not that big. It's not that big of a deal, guys. Okay, so Gunn also offered an update on the Superman's costume and where the film's score stands. The costume is mostly done, but we're still going back and forth on some elements. A lot of the score, maybe even most of the major themes, have already been written. Well, if you're using some of the John Williams themes, then of course they would already be written. But the more important question would be, are you using any of the John Williams themes, or are you just going to try to reinvent something new? Which is, once again, between the Hans Zimmer score and I think most people still, as much as people like that one, I still think it's iconic, whatever Williams came up with. You're not going to use any of them? Please, come on. I have to check, he said, about the movie's composer hasn't been announced yet. So if okay, so there, maybe that's enough information for us, guys. After another fan asked why the movie's composer hasn't been announced yet, Gunn explained that he's not sure if a deal has been closed yet. Well, so then a composer has been working on it, or a composer hasn't been working on it, and then if a composer hasn't been working on it, then how are the major themes already written? Is it because they are using the John Williams theme? I can keep my fingers crossed, can't I? Can't I? I mean, come on. Superman Legacy is set to arrive in theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, so there's some updates. Composer deal's not done yet, but somehow the score, some themes are already written. The superhero costume, I just hope we go away from that kind of netted look that Cavill had. I want to try, like, why can't you make the smooth look work? Why do you need that texture in there? I don't know. We'll see. It's not going to be one that breaks it or anything like that. I'm sure they're going to go with the underwearless one. Yeah, because Superman with the underwear outside of his costume, just yeah, it doesn't work today. I don't have any problem with that. Storyboard problems. It is what it is. There are some more revelations here about Superman Legacy we have to talk about. Superman Legacy, Miriam Shore joining the cast. So she appeared in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as Recorder Vim. I had to look that one up. recorder of him. Oh yeah, she was behind him here, and that's who she played. So she was in Guardians. That's what she looks like, guys. Uh, James Gunn working with the same cast, but James, it's nepotism. He just keeps on working with the same actors over and over again. And I know some people out there are frustrated by it, but I'll give you this case. James Cameron works with a lot of the same people. I mean, what's wrong with that? Bill Paxton, Michael Biehn. I mean, come on. We all like that. Lance Henriksen, he worked with multiple times. So it's kind of like, hey, as long as the actors are good, I got no problem with it. Casting your brother and everything, well, so did Sam Raimi. He cast Ted Raimi and everything, right? And at least they're competent actors. So I got no problem with this. You got to work with people that you've got good relationships with. You know what kind of standard they're bringing to the product, right? And if she brought it, then fine. So we know who that is. Who else is joining the cast? I think this was late on Friday afternoon that Palm Clementiev and Miriam Shore. There you go. Miriam Shore also cast. But Palm Clementiev, of course, played Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy, but she'll be also in the Superman movie. Despite Palm being one of my favorite actors to work with, this is 100% not true, Gunn wrote on Threads. What? So it's not true? Okay, so maybe we got to get this straight. Gunn wrote on Threads, not only is Palm not in the movie, but no one has ever discussed her being in the movie, nor do I have any idea what role she would possibly play. So he confirmed that Miriam's in, but Palm is not. Okay, fine. Well, hey, you listen to my spiel anyway, and the points still stand, right? Do they? I don't know. Just a quick few updates. You know, we're all tracking the Superman legacy story here on all the movie pundits channels and stuff like that. We'll be keeping our eye on any little bit of information. Not too spoilery, but it is what it is. All right, guys. There's an article up on Variety I want to talk. We're 4 days. We're 4 days, guys. 4 days away from it. Sorry, my OBS picked up there. I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, Aquaman. What else comes out? Color Purple, Iron Claw, which I'm really looking forward to. Ferrari, Migration. So American Fiction, Boys on the Boat. Yeah, so we've got a number of ones that are coming out. Where will the chips fall when everything is said and done? Maestro, even though that's only a limited release. We'll have to see. But according to Jason Momoa, Aquaman. Jason Momoa says the future of Aquaman films is not looking good. Well, guys, they've said that there's a possibility we can make a third Aquaman. Well, I don't think so. Because there's been absolutely zero buzz. They've been promoting it. They've been putting out TV spots and stuff. And Momoa has been talking about it. But there is absolutely zero anticipation for this film. I think most of us have braced ourselves for a disaster of a film. But it's James Wan. He did so well with the first one. Stands to reason it won't be terrible, right? It can't be. But it's not looking good. We'll have to see. I did watch the new trailer on the newest trailer on the Wonka film that came out this last weekend. And it didn't, that final trailer did nothing to boost buzz. You know what's actually building buzz for it? For me, is if you follow Jason Momoa's social media. Speaking of which, you can follow my social media right there. Like they put some dance numbers up with him and Patrick Wilson, kind of thing, like little meme videos, and like that stuff is entertaining. I'll watch that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'll watch him complain about being Aquaman, because that's sort of what the trailers were painting, is that he doesn't really want to be the king of Atlantis. It's kind of like, I don't want to watch a movie where a hero doesn't want to be the hero, kind of thing. I want to see a hero being the hero, right? Enough with that take. So we'll have to see. So he says in his quote, addressing reports that this will be the last time that he'll be playing it, he says, quote, "I don't necessarily want it to be the end, but I don't think it's really like a choice." Yeah, no. Um, it depends on the box office. It depends on, well, since they're rebooting the entire thing, we'll have to see how that goes. He continues, quote, the truth of it is, I mean, if the audience loves it, then there's a possibility. Yeah, we'll grant that. But right now, I'm like, it's not looking too good. He says that he loves the character, and I would play it for a long time. I kind of want to see where I would want to go, and even if the next 10 years and cool things like that they could do. And I do enjoy the role in the world. So, I mean, it just comes down to people, if people love it. And right now, the buzz, as I said, it's not looking good. Most people have braced themselves for it to be a bomb. Uh, and I know we dance that fine line of, okay, we're bracing it for ourselves to be a bomb. We're just like, for me, like some other people who are looking at this in a calm way, we're just basing this off of the past previous uh, box office results from the comic book movies that came out earlier this year, like Marvel's Blue Beetle and stuff like that, where it's all the trajectory has been going down like this, right? And especially DC with Shazam: Fury of the Gods is kind of like I think people are just kind of like tapped out of this rinse and repeat formula that just hasn't been working for people, right? Arglass says, I reckon Jason's future is secured with Lobo, so it won't be too disheartened with Aquaman's departure. Is that a dolly zoom? Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. We remember that announcement that he came out from James Gunn's like house or something, and he was like all hyped up and cheered up. Well, he wouldn't have been acting like that if Aquaman 3, if they told him that Aquaman 3 is going to happen regardless of whatever the box office results are. He wouldn't be acting like that, right? I think he was acting. This even goes further to solidify the rumors that he was offered Lobo, and he's going to be playing Lobo, right? I think that's what most people want to see. So it's kind of like, okay, and it'll be, you're going to have to bring in a new Aquaman for the DC going forward. Uh, if James Gunn's Superman Legacy actually takes off. So we'll have to wait and see how Aquaman's numbers come in over this next weekend, guys. It is the Christmas long day weekend, but as that other article said, there are still 8 other movies that have to open up before the end of December. Most of them will be smaller art house films like the awards buzz movies and stuff like that. So we'll have to take a look at that. Okay, so sorry guys, I'm getting a call here, and it is a live show. So number verified. Sorry, I'll have to answer that after. Okay. Um, let's go on to the weekend's box office report, talking about Aquaman and where's it going to land. It's Monday, so let's get into it. For the weekend of December 15th to the 17th, the top 5 box office earners are number 1 with Wonka, number 2, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, number 3, The Boy and the Heron, number 4, Godzilla -1, and number 5, Trolls Band Together. So Wonka opened up with the number 1 spot with 39 million. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Some people are going to be trying to paint this as a box office bomb, as a failure. But worldwide here, guys, while it made 39 domestically, it made 112 internationally. Remember, it opened up like a week earlier or something in some other places, right? So 151 million worldwide. I think that's rather impressive, right? On a $125 million budget, give or take. So it's made its production budget back. Now, that's not including marketing or, what the theater's percentages are going to be. But if it's made its base production budget back, everything on here, let's just say it had to make around 300 million. No, it's not even that, guys. It's not even going to be that. It's going to be like 270 maybe. We're on pace. And this is just the opening weekend. And once the word of mouth goes around, and it's going to benefit from the long weekend here for people who don't want to see Aquaman, they'll be going, because it's a kids-friendly film that don't want to go see migration or anything like that. Wonka will be up there. And it's going to have good word of mouth too, I believe, because Wonka, 84% by critics, 91% by the audience. People are liking it. People are responding to this. So not only critic-wise, box office wise, the numbers are showing that this is going to be a movie that will be the one. I think this will be the one for the holidays here that most people will be chiming into and going, gotta go take the family to see Wonka. Aquaman, not so much. I don't think so. Yeah. And it's going to go up against Color Purple. That's also a musical. We'll have to see how that fares. We'll have to see how that fares. But Wonka, 39 million domestically on its opening haul. Not bad. Not bad. Worldwide does make a difference. So, guys, the other big headline that very few people are talking about is that the Hunger Games has been hanging in there in the number 1 and number 2 spots for the last 5 weeks. It hasn't dropped, guys. So it was number 1 for the first 2 weeks, and now it's been number 3 for the last, it's been number 2 for the last 3 weeks, coming in at 5.8 million. And that's good because that had a budget of around 100 million, and it's made 289 now. And it's well deserved because I like that movie. In hindsight, I really like that movie, so it's worth checking out. If you haven't seen it yet, I would say it's worthwhile. Boy and the Heron still hanging in there. I think that's cool. Third spot. I was hoping that maybe the second spot, but 109 million for Hayao Miyazaki's final film. That's a good movie too, guys. And of course, then the one that's still hanging in there, Godzilla -1 in the 4th spot. Wow, 4.8 million. So domestically 34, internationally 29, 64. Yeah, awesome take by Godzilla. Boy and the Heron, 2 Japanese films in the top 5 right now. Trolls Band Together, kids movie, Wish. And then, of course, there's Napoleon, still hanging in there in the 7th spot. James, you're going to talk about Napoleon? Only about to accent. It's, once again, a complete box office bomb. And Ridley Scott not delivering. Guys, this one is being torn apart on the internet by historians. They're like, this is schlock is what historians are talking about. Could I forgive it because of some of the action sequences, the war sequences? A little bit. But then once I admit that, then it's kind of like I'm conceding that it wasn't a very good movie. And I was gentle on my review. But Ridley Scott is no stranger to delivering box office bombs. He doesn't really care, guys. He doesn't care. Ridley Scott to light the fuse for an adaptation of Kevin McMullen's action-packed short story, Bomb. So, guys, what the heck is Ridley Scott doing? He's 85 years old. He's working on Gladiator 2 right now, which I'm hoping will be a return to glory. And then I was really hoping that he would somehow get back to the Prometheus David storyline, but I guess if he's going to be doing Bomb after this, he's going to be like, I guess he's still wanting to make movies into his 90s, just like Clint Eastwood. But it is what it is, so he's going to be working on an adaptation of Bomb. Sources close to the project describe Bomb as an action thriller akin to Dog Day Afternoon or Speed. Huh. Frankie Palto is a hostage negotiator called in to duty the night before his wedding in London. A man who has parked himself in the construction site of Piccadilly Circus. All right, so we got a little bit of a synopsis here of a hostage negotiator coming in to deal with the situation of a bomber whom he dealt with in the past. He's done all the films, but when you look at some of them, like the lawyer one that he did, anyway, that's all I want to talk about Napoleon. Poor Things is still only in 82 theaters. Poor Things. It opens wider this coming weekend too. So Poor Things opens up wider with Aquaman. Everybody will be going to see it. I'll be going to see it. So I got Aquaman and Poor Things to watch this weekend. And then on top of that, I got to try to figure out when I'm going to see Color Purple. Yeah. Poor Things is the Emma Stone Frankenstein movie that I want to see. Anything else that came out? American Fiction also is going to be out in wider release. It's only in 7 theaters. So American Fiction is getting a lot of buzz for the performances. Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction, a novelist, who who writes black entertainment fiction and stuff like that, prose, right? So I want to see it because I hear good things about his performance. Um, I hear that it makes some statements politically too that may rub some people's feathers the wrong way. But guys, that's pretty much the weekend, the way that the weekend has gone here for the weekend of December 15th to the 17th. Next weekend, of course, is, well, Christmas, right? So we'll have to see how good that weekend, 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend for some, because it's Boxing Day on Tuesday. So yeah, it's going to be a long, long time for these movies to hopefully get some box office. I'm guessing, despite all the bad buzz for Aquaman, like I think that Wonka is going to get chopped down to about 20 million next week, right? 20 to 25 million. Aquaman, just by the brand name alone, regardless if it's a stinker, will still be number one. Then it'll go Wonka, then Hunger Games, and then Poor Things, and then The Boy and the Heron, maybe, or Godzilla. Please have Godzilla still hanging in there. Please have Godzilla. Godzilla needs to hang in there, but that's what I'm thinking. Or no, Color Purple comes. I'll get so confused. Whatever. Yeah. All right, guys. So if you are curious about my Wonka thoughts, my initial reactions up on the channel right now, and my full movie review is up on the channel right now. It went live literally the second before we started this live stream. So my full Wonka reaction is up on the channel right now. So go check out that, my movie review. So I go into a little bit more depth and analysis there for my Wonka review. And of course, I also reviewed The Boy and the Heron and Godzilla -1, as well as The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Yeah, Artglass, did you go out and see Godzilla this weekend? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. We did full live movie reaction. We watched the entire movie, guys. Leave the World Behind here on the channel. I really like that movie too. And we're going to be watching Survivor, the finale. Season 45 finale goes this week, this Thursday, guys. So come join us for that. It'll be at 9 o'clock in the morning because it's a longer episode. And then this week, we're also still watching Hell's Kitchen. And then we know that we do movie news throughout the week here. All right. So yeah, really, Arglass says, really, Scott making 2 bombs in a row. Hopefully he'll be fair with the second bomb. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It's just, when the studio, I think it's the studios that hear the name recognition. Oh, it's Ridley Scott? I'll give you $200 million. Really? What track record are you basing that on? Oh, you're Martin Scorsese? I'll give you $200 million to make your movie. Both Killers of the Flower Moon and Napoleon were bombs. But that doesn't mean that they're bad films, James. Yeah, well, it means that the movie wasn't successful. Not necessarily, James. It's all subjective, don't you know? Let's not get into that argument. Artglass said about the Superman story, classic Superman score would be excellent to hear again when watching it on the big screen, for sure, with the stereo surround sound. John Williams writing those themes is just a master. All right. Let's go in and take a look at some of the worst movies of the year list here that somebody put up on the channel, on Variety's page. Guys, did you ever hear that story this weekend about, was it Weintraub over on Collider? It's like, don't publish these lists because these people work hard on the films. And it's kind of like, what are you doing? I understand, like, he shouldn't be publishing movie reviews, Frosty, because he's like the runner of Collider, right? Of the print side. So it's kind of like the owner of Variety coming out with these and saying like, no, we'll hire writers to do it, but it's just a political thing, minor thing that I don't really care about. So I will be doing my worst list of the year after I've seen everything coming out here in December. So we'll have to see. Worst movies of 2023. Let's just take a look at some of these people's lists. Owen Gleiberman's 5 worst. Ghosted. Yeah, I never watched Ghosted. And why does it look like Chris Evans has like a CGI head there? I don't get that. Asteroid City. Really? That's one of your worst? I thought that one was fun. I had fun with that. What are you talking about? Your Place or Mine. Reese Witherspoon. That one was harmless. That was harmless. I didn't mind that one. It was a little bit convoluted though, right? Magic Mike's Last Dance. I didn't get to see that one. Heart of Stone? No, I like that Gal Gadot one. That one was nice. What are you talking about? Peter de Bruges, Five Worst. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I actually, guys, I didn't see it. I had the screener of it, but it was like really choppy, and I was kind of like, well, I was fast forwarding through bits of it, and I can sort of say I saw a good chunk of it. I know the quality. It was Grindhouse, of course, and it's probably um, due to the acting. They didn't like it. It was short, though. It was like only an hour and 20 minutes, right? Carmen. Never heard of it. The Flash. I could see some people ragging on The Flash. The further we get away from those visual effects, the better. Don't try to remind yourself of how bad those visual effects were. Paint. Ah, yes. I don't know what Owen Wilson was doing, trying to emulate the story of Bob Ross. Yeah, that should have been Caligula, the ultimate cut. No, is that it? Is that we only get two people's lists? Okay. Well, it is what it is. Let's see what people are saying in the comments. Godzilla was awesome. They did not skimp on Godzilla's appearances or his characteristics. Amazing how they made this for under 50 million. Yeah, it was. Arglass also says, I enjoyed Ghosted. Apparently, for most of the movie, they were shot separately and edited together, so I guess Chris Wood looks CGI against his co-stars. Yeah, that image looks terrible. Let me see if I can pull that up. Like, if you say that they weren't shot together, like, it's the lighting on the face. It looks like she's really there, and whoever but it's the lighting. Like, why is this side of his face should see the lighting on the shoulder? That should track up onto his face, and it's not. So that's why I'm saying it looks terrible. Anna de Armas can't seem to get a break. Hopefully that ballerina movie will work out for you. But she was nominated for her role, James, in that Marilyn Monroe movie. Yeah, but nobody liked it, and it was a tough watch. And it was 3+ hours, and I don't know what the heck they were smoking when they came up with that one, but it is what it is. She'll be fine. She was really good in Knives Out. I liked her in Blade Runner 2049. Anna de Armas is going to be fine. All right. What's next? Super Mario Bros. 2. Let's talk about it. Jack Black awaits return of Bowser. Has idea for Super Mario Bros. Sequel. Well, an actor giving his ideas on it. Well, let's see what you got, man. See what you got. Jack Black told Variety, quote, it's been radio silence. The only chatter has been coming from me, and I don't even know when I'm allowed to chatter. I've been chomping at the bit to get back to business. I think it would be a full musical, like what Todd Phillips is supposedly doing with Joker 2. Okay, so we want some more music. Well, hey, if you got Jack Black, Peaches was so iconic. Of course you want to see him sing more. Well, Bowser always returns, but are we going to get somewhere along the lines? I think some people will want to see Wario. I don't know if we'll see Wart, but yeah, Wario I could see coming in. Of course, Bowser would always come back. We need to see the Koopalings, right? So there's always ideas. On the ballot, Jack Black said, they sent me a 30-second nugget of an idea, and it was hilarious. I fleshed it out and added some lyrics and melody, and they loved it. And by God, they put it in the film. I couldn't believe that they did. So he basically came up with most of it, right? They gave him the little bit of a jingle, and he just ran with it. And that's the artistry of Jack Black. He's a good performer, and if you see like stuff of him on his social media, Jack Black just seems like he's an overall cool dude. He's the kind of guy that you can sit down, have a pint with, and just talk about stuff. And he'll have some input, some insight, and you'll just have a fun time like Jack Black. So Peaches 2, more of a musical he would prefer, says Jack Black. We'll have to see. It's a little bit shocking, though, that studio heads must be talking about it. I mean, come on. I just, well, we did have the writer's strike, so things could be going on in the background. We'll have to wait and see. There is going to be a Super Mario Bros. 2 because it made it was the highest grossing movie of the year. We'll have to see how that one turns out. Maybe not so, it will happen, but maybe not so much for Aladdin 2. Aladdin 2. Mina Masood talks on Disney live action sequel possible cancellation. Yeah, well, there was going to be, there were talks about doing a second one, right? And Will Smith said that he wants to come back and do a live action second one. Maybe we'll have to do a Grumpy Man reaction to the first one when I sign back up for Disney Plus. All right. The fate of Aladdin 2 is uncertain. Cancellation leaving fans and industry watchers eager for updates. So, the actor who played Aladdin revealed that the ongoing strike has put the sequel on hold and it doesn't know is unsure of its current status. The potential for Aladdin 2 exploring a new direction as delving into Jasmine's new role as Sultana and Aladdin adapts to his new dynamic in Agrabah. All right. Sorry, guys, I don't know anything about the Aladdin. I never even watched the animated one. So, but James, you haven't seen the animated one with Robin Williams? No, I haven't. It was after my time. I was a teenager. No, I was like early 20s or something when that. I don't know. I was just no. I was a teenager when that came out. I was like, of course, I'm not sitting down and watching a kids movie. But anyway, yeah. I don't have any updates, he told Screen Rant. The strike kind of just put an end to everything on hold. They were trying to get it off the ground for a long time, but I have no idea. And there were talks of, is Guy Ritchie going to be able to come back to it? You know that Will Smith said that he would be willing to come back for it. But how much did Aladdin do at the box office? Let's just take a look. Aladdin, 2019. It did make $1 billion though, guys. So, but even though it made $1 billion, that was under the old before the pandemic times. So, if you'd made like the copy paste kind of sequel to it, I don't know if it would fare as well. We might be looking at an Aquaman 2 scenario with an Aladdin 2. So I think it's just for me. I would say the safer play would just to let that puppy be put to bed. just that's it. We don't need an Aladdin 2, right? Money says it. Perhaps that there's some clout there, but remember, Aquaman 1 made $1 billion. Captain Marvel made $1 billion. Aquaman 2 is not going to make $1 billion. The Marvels, Captain America or Captain Marvel 2 did not make $1 billion. So it stands to reason that Aladdin 2 will not make $1 billion. If I'm looking at it, right? Am I way off base with this one? Let me know in the comments below. I like that Cliffhanger film with Stallone. Cliffhanger 2 was set to go into production. Wasn't Rennie Harlan going to come back for it too? But then he dropped out, right? So let's see what's going on here. Cliffhanger 2, Stallone sequel is a go with Plain Mesrinak, director at the helm. Oh, Plain. The Gerard Butler film that just came out this year? That would be cool. So I'm on board with that. Because I liked Plane with Gerard Butler. It was a nice, small action film. Nothing too elaborate. No big political statements about the bad guys or anything like that. It was just a nicely fun actioner. That'd be fun to watch it with you guys too here on the channel if we could get a hold of that Gerard Butler film. So, Stallone's Gabe Walker is again taking on the mountains in Cliffhanger 2. A few months ago, Greenland director Rick Roman Waugh was set to direct. Okay, it was Greenland director. Somebody else who worked with Gerard Butler. But no, Stallone, he's still going to be in it from what I understand. It has a new director, Jean-Francois Richet, who made the two-part classic Mesrine. Okay. So, a few years back, director Anna Lily Amirpour was set to direct a version of the movie with Jason Momoa starring. Oh, wow. But no, I thought that, yeah, they wanted to have Stallone come back. And from what I understand, he's still on board. The sequel is set to center around Gabe's daughter, who uses the climbing skills she's learned from her father to save the day. Yeah, that's what I heard. It was going to be about his daughter, and then he'll get called back into action. I had lots of fun with the first Cliffhanger. Right? Richet's body of work. In addition to mentoring, he's also directed Mel Gibson under late era movies Bloodfather and Gerard Butler's Plane. So I like Plane. So based on that one is the one that I'm going on for Cliffhanger 2. Cliffhanger 2 will be like the original in that it'll feature real stunts rather than the overabundance of CGI. Good. That's the way it should be, right? No news yet on who's going to be playing Stallone's daughter. But yeah, it wouldn't be somebody who would be kind of like 17 years old. I mean, Stallone's like 77, so he would have had to sire her when he was like 60. Ugh. That's just, I don't know. Maybe somebody in their 20s, maybe 30s. You know who I'm thinking? Let me just throw an idea here. Who could play his daughter and would be of a reasonable age to do it, and would look like there would be a mix of his love interest in the first movie, and if they made a daughter, how about her? Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Yeah, she'd be the right age as a cliffhanger. That's who I'd throw out there. That's who I'd put my money on. She can do the action. Cool. That's who I'm thinking. That would be my pick. Let me know who you'd want to see as the daughter in Cliffhanger 2. Let's talk about all these sequels. Extraction 3. I really like the Extraction films. The first one was good. It was solid. But then the second one just really picked up. We had lots of fun watching that here on the channel too, guys. We've got Extraction 2 full live watch along up there. And Chris Hemsworth is slowly putting out this franchise here, the Extraction franchise, that I think holds its own with on par with the John Wick franchise. So we got an update. Netflix is working on an Extraction spin-off. What would the spin-off be about? As well as developing Extraction 3. Good. A new TV spin-off is now in the works. Netflix's head of film confirms that work for the script for Extraction 3 is working right now. Good. Director Sam Hargrave has already given ideas for Extraction 3, suggesting that audiences can expect another thrilling adventure with Hemsworth character Tyler Rake. You know what? But here's the thing that, yeah, they use a mix of CGI, the volume and stuff like that, but you can actually tell that it's Hemsworth doing a lot of the stunts. So they could be like on a green screen stage going through all the stuff like on the train stuff, but it's still him jumping down from things, leaping into bodies, getting blown back and stuff like that. So he's still putting his body on the line, and that's what transfers over, right? That's what the payoff, like that whole prison sequence, escape sequence, and then onto the train is just masterpiece. One of my favorite action sequences. I like that sequence a lot more than the stairwell sequence in John Wick 4. And you guys know how much I like John Wick 4, right? Extraction, like, don't sleep on it, man. Don't sleep on it, because it's worth watching. So I'm glad that we're getting an Extraction 3 worked on. I'm puzzled as to what would a spin-off show be about. It's now reportedly getting a spin-off series. Okay, so the hit show Wednesday, Extraction, and now reportedly its own spin-offs. While the details of the spin-off are currently under wraps, the TV show is set in the world of the action franchise Extraction. So would it be more of on the political side of stuff? Obviously, it wouldn't be a series with Tyler Rake in it, though, would it? It said spin-off, so it wouldn't be about him. Maybe it's about the agencies and stuff, a little bit like the shadow organizations that come after him and stuff like that. Maybe it's a little bit like that. That's what I'm thinking. I just don't know why. Like, there's nothing about It's not like the table in John Wick or the ballerina school in John Wick. It's not like that where you could see them doing a spin-off, or like the Continental in John Wick. Like, you know how they did the spin-off for the Continental, and now they're doing the ballerina with Anna de Armas. So I don't know. I don't know what that would be about. Um, that one I think is maybe getting a little too ahead of yourself. But I'm on board for Extraction 3, and I'm on board for maybe whatever this spin-off series is going to be about. All right, so we got some, as you saw there in that article, it talked about Wednesday spin-off. We know that Wednesday season 2 is going to be getting underway here at the beginning of next year. But a Wednesday spin-off about Uncle Fester is now in development. Okay. Well, I didn't mind Fester showing up in the Wednesday series. He had a small little role, but it was effective. Everybody's going to be on board for Wednesday season 2. But they're planning to actually give more light to the other members of the Addams family, which I think will be fine. And you know what? If they did a Gomez Morticia spinoff, I'd be fine with that too. Because I thought Luis Guzman as Gomez surprisingly did a really effective job. Uncle Fester. So yeah, Fred Armisen, who does Fester, he said, quote, before production on the second season, the company has also stated, talking about another Addams Family program, one built around Uncle Fester, played by Fred Armisen. Yeah. You guys want to see that? Or do you think maybe that they'll be milking it too much, oversaturating it to the point where, well, if we're going to see Fester, are we going to see Wednesday? Are we going to see Jenna Ortega in it? I want to see Jenna Ortega, please, 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 please. Is it going to be one of those scenarios? Because I could very easily see something like that happening. I don't want it to happen, but yeah. Arglass says, I could imagine Stallone casting Jenna Ortega in, in Cliffhanger 2. Age her up. I'd like to see someone like Penelope Cruz in Cliffhanger 2. She was good in Sahara, but maybe she's past doing an action movie. Yeah, she's a little bit old for action. Oh, she's not, James. Penelope Cruz is not too old. You can still do it. I mean, and I'm going to see Penelope Cruz next. She's 49. She's in Ferrari, right? She's one of the many reasons why I want to see Ferrari. And I hear good things about her in Ferrari. What the heck is going on here? Is that Steve-O? No, that's that's Antonio Banderas. Okay. Hey, from a glance, you can't tell from the thumbnails. Maybe the Extraction spin-off features a younger version of Rake. Arglass says, maybe. Maybe. All right, where are we at? Yeah, we were talking about the Wednesday spin-off. I don't know. We'll have to see. Fred Armisen. Depends on, like, if season 2 of Wednesday knocks it out of the park, then I'd see them fully going ahead with that and getting it out sooner rather than later. Talking about X-Files. Let's talk about that. Disney's new X-Files series confirmed to be in development. Ryan Coogler will produce. Well, you know what? David Duchovny says that he would come back for it, but we know that Gillian Anderson's done. Like, we were so lucky that we got her back for those encore seasons that they did, those short seasons, because she doesn't like playing the character. And apparently her and Duchovny don't get along. So it's kind of like, and it sucks because they got really good on-screen chemistry. They do. It sucks. But you know what? If they're gonna do a new series, do it the passing of the torch. You know what? She's done with it, but still have like Mulder there to be kind of like maybe what the Horsemen were, offering insight and tidbits into conspiracy theories and stuff like that, that the new people would come in and try to get counsel from, right? Disney developing a new X-Files series with Ryan Coogler, known as, yeah, we know he did Black Panther and Creed. Franchise era. The X-Files reboot will have more diverse, again, no, take that word out. Because as soon as you use nomenclature like that, you're going to just make a lot of people angry. I know that it's nice to have inclusiveness, diversity, but you can't put that plastered all over your opening statements for your series, because then you're just going to get a lot of people going, right? Cast and may feature guest appearances from the original stars. So may feature guest appearances. Okay, well, that's fine. Good. Yeah. They knew, because I mean, that branch, yeah, even though it got shut down at the end of that series, that doesn't mean that you can still explore more. There's still more you could do. And I like just the episodic nature of going into, I want to get back into episodic stuff. None, like, every show now has to be that long arc. Ooh, it's 8 episodes, but it's one long arc of 8 episodes. I like learning about the Worm Man, the Fluke Monster, and stuff like that. And I like how the encore seasons that they did emulated the episodic natures of that kind of stuff too. Yeah, you can have the overlonging arch of the alien invasion storyline, but yeah, episodic. That's what I hope for. All right. So that's being developed. Would they, Mulder and Scully, be involved? Yes, maybe. Cameo roles. We'll have to see. Ryan Coogler, though, do you trust him? I do, except for that decision to not recast T'Challa, but that's a story for a different day. Talking more about TV shows, Matt Reeves, the Batman Arkham Asylum spinoff, will be part of the DCU. All right, but Batman won't be? Then will this Arkham Asylum not be the one that we see in Matt Reeves's Batman movies? I'm confused here. What's going on? Matt Reeves' Arkham Asylum spinoff, The Batman, will actually be part of James Gunn's DCU and not sit in the Robert Pattinson universe. Okay. That's going to be confusing for a lot of people, man. The Batman will be introduced as a darker, more realistic version of Batman, which received critical praise. Yeah, well, we know about that. The upcoming Arkham Asylum spinoff that was going to be Gotham PD at one point, and then it morphed into this, right? Will now be part of the DCU continuity instead of the Elseworld setting of the Batman. While there is a little information about the plot and characters, the Arkham series could potentially feature new versions of Batman's classic villains in a new dark haunting setting. Huh. So it'll be in the so we'll get the Batman with the Robin then, with Damon Wayne's Robin, right? That'll be the Batman that'll be serving in this spin-off. Well, it's not really a spin-off then, is it, guys? We kind of have to remove that word spin-off. Project, Matt Reeves' Arkham Asylum project, is not going to be part. It won't be the same Arkham Asylum that we see, presumably, well, that we did see in the Batman universe, where Riddler and Joker are held up in, right? So it won't be the same. I think casual fans won't notice, but us movie fans will be kind of like, ugh, that's kind of weird. Boba Talks, yeah, he's my go-to guy for DC stuff. If you don't know Boba Talks, he covers a lot of the DC stuff, and he's really, really diligent in getting the information. And he was questioning James Gunn, so he got some traction. Yeah, he's up there, guys. People follow him. He's got this following. Boba Talks. He's very informative. So it won't be, you'll get different versions of Riddler, Joker, and stuff like that, because it'll suit the Batman that will be with Damian Wayne. Very interesting stuff. Interesting. 11:20. Where are we at? Let's go on to some hit or miss. If it's a hit, we'll talk about it. If it's a miss, we'll move on. Vampires of the Velvet Lounge cast includes Mina Sabari, Dyken Lockman, Stephen Dorff, and Rosa Salazar. I used to be a fan of Stephen Dorff. He's a competent actor, but then since all of his MCU hatred came out, I was kind of like, he's kind of gonna, and I think he's gone down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories as well. So it's kind of like, kind of like Earth is flat conspiracy level kind of thing. But I do like Mina Savari, so that's cool. What's going on with this? Vampires of the Velvet Lounge. Do we have a synopsis? Okay. The film follows a coven of bloodsuckers who are struggling to come to terms with the modern world and their own mortality as they are locked in a battle with a deadly foe. Sherman provided that he's making a modern day feature with an amazingly talented cast and crew about the most prolific. What? No. What? Let's just pull up the IMDb. What's going on here? As they are locked in a battle with a deadly foe in his twisted fairy tale, a coven of vampires struggles to come to terms with the modern world and their own okay. Rosa Salazar. Yes, she was in Alita Battle Angel, right? I haven't seen her in a hot minute. Mina Savari, I like her work quite a bit. Tom Berenger. Cool. Sign me up. Tyrese Gibson fans. Yes. This one will have you in your interests, right? No? Yes? Mark Boone Jr., he was in Batman Begins. He's in a lot of stuff. What's Mina been up to? She's been doing a lot of TV stuff, hasn't she? All You Need Is Blood, Dark Obsession. So a lot of lower budget movies, but she's still working, so that's good. I'd hire her in a hot minute. Be like, Mina Savari wants some work? Well, I'm sure we can find something. She's got her plate full, which is good. So maybe maybe we'll see her. Like, she is a good actress. Underrated is what I would say. I want to see her stretch her acting muscles. Yeah, because everybody remembers her from American Beauty and the American Pie, right? I want to see more from her. And yeah, there's other reasons why I like her. But anyway, next. Oh, Michael B. Jordan under LAPD investigation after actor's Ferrari crash. Ooh. Yeah. I remember there was a story about him being in a car crash with his Ferrari, which was recorded on camera. So, what? Under investigation for what? Stunting? Here in Canada, we call it stunting when you're like speeding or showing off, doing donuts. Being foolish. Despite the absence of evidence suggesting impairment, Jordan may face legal repercussions. Well, what? Stunting? That's all I can think of. And that's just a fine, right? So, yeah, there's some TMZ footage out there. I don't want to show it. This is just a car speeding, pretty much. I don't know. I'll keep my eye on that. See how that unfolds. Is that it? Is that all I got for hit or miss? Guys, it's 11:25. I do have to take that call. I got to answer that back. So I will go over to the Twitterverse now, see if anything dropped. I don't expect any new trailers this week, but we'll have to see. New posters for Mean Girls, January 12th. Mean Girls, the musical. Yeah, we're getting a lot of musicals. We got Wonka is musical. Color Purple, musical. Mean Girls, musical. Will it be too much? I don't know. I'm not interested in watching Mean Girls. I'm not gonna force myself to watch that movie. Yeah. Willem Dafoe plays crazy vampire hunter Professor Albin Einhard von Franz in Nosferatu due out next year. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. Willem Dafoe, once he gets certain roles he loves to sink his acting teeth into, and looks like he's doing that here, right? He loves the craft of acting. He's somebody, if he ever did like a master class of acting, I'd be wanting just to sit down and watch him talk about it. And Nosferatu, December 25th, 2024, is going to be one of my most anticipated for next year. The Hunger Games, Ballad and Songbirds and Snakes will be on VOD tomorrow. Okay, so you guys will be able to see that at home now tomorrow. If you were a fan of the first Hunger Games, you probably already watched it in theater. But if you were waiting for it on streaming, well, it'll be tomorrow, guys. And it's worth it. Tom Blythe there. Not quite the way that I thought it would be. It's not quite the way that, like Anakin Skywalker falling from grace kind of thing. It's kind of like it slowly just eats away at him and then he just becomes like that. And Rachel Zegler was pretty good in it too. Rachel Zegler was really good. Priscilla breaks down scenes from Priscilla Presley. Oh, Priscilla Presley breaks down scenes from Priscilla. Well, she's somebody who endorsed it, right? Priscilla Presley endorsed that movie, Priscilla. Lisa Marie didn't. Paul Giamatti wins Best Actor for the Texas Film Critics. Okay. Divine Joy Brown wins for Texas. Billy Gladstone, some more stuff there. All right. Taraji P. Henson. What's she wearing there? I want to see her performance. Like Color Purple, I'll see. I'll have to see it at a matinee, though. Trailer for Daniel Kaluuya's The Kitchen has been released, debuting January 19th. Huh. First trailer for Love Lies Bleeding will be released tomorrow. Kirsten Stewart and Katie O'Brien, Ed Harris. Well, I do like Katie O'Brien. She was the best part of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania for me. And then, of course, she was in Mandalorian a little bit, right, as the Imperial officer. Love Lies Bleeding. I don't know who those guys are. Sydney Sweeney, Anyone But You. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. Satellite Awards. More Satellite Awards nominations. So yeah, we're in the thick of award season here, so it's going to be hard for a new story to bust out. Is that it? 11/29? Is that it? Peaky Blinders spin-offs, which means I should probably get watching that, huh? Glenn Howerton wins Outstanding Performance in Canadian Film for Blackberry. Toronto Critics Association Awards. Different awards, same people win in them, pretty much, right? Wonka, starring Timothée Chalamet, opens for 39 million. Yeah, well, we know that. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes has made over 300 million worldwide with a $100 million budget. And I would like to see more. Do more with Tom Blythe as Snow. Watch him become like real villainous. I don't know. And if you could, while he's still here and with us, guys, try to get Donald Sutherland back as a cameo somehow. Because he did a little bit of voiceover, but I think it was just lifted from the fourth film. Charles Melton. Donald Sutherland was one of my favorite actors. He's got so much range. And he's another actor, as I said, like with Willem Dafoe, where he gets a juicy role. He just loves to sink his teeth into it. Kate McKinnon, Greta Gerwig and Kate McKinnon and introducing Billie Eilish on SNL. Was she a performer there on the weekend? I don't watch SNL anymore. All right. So, guys, that's all I have in the can for today. We will be doing some shorts. I will be doing shorts. They'll be just weird shorts, weird ideas I get in my head, guys, that I just want to make a quick video about. That's it. That's all I want to do. And it'll hopefully drive traction towards the channel. And then this week, guys, tomorrow and Wednesday, the show might be earlier because I've got to be out by 12 p.m. to be somewhere. So I got to eat by 11 and then go. So it might be earlier for Tuesday and Wednesday. But those are just movie news days, so that we'll roll with that. Thursday and Friday will be fine. And then next week will be kind of hectic with Christmas stuff. So we'll have to see how next week goes. But we'll talk about that as we get closer to it. All right, guys, that's it for my movie news show today. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains.